Hi, and welcome to Irish Sports World on January the 23rd. I think it's a Wednesday, another windy Wednesday, and a Monday, Tuesday, early in the week. There's not going to be a lot happening. Our Sumo guy, Hoshoru, won again, so I think he's up to something like 9-2 at the moment. So it's going to be quite a good end because I think you have 4 or 5 wrestlers who are either one or two lost. And so I think actually as well one of his fellow Mongolians, and can't give his name now, has a chance if he wins, if he doesn't drop another bout of becoming Yokozuna, which would mean once again you'd have 2 Mongolian Yokozunas. Tennis wise, it's not a lot really happening there. It's at the end of the week, no massive shocks. You imagine that my friend Novak, he's got 2 guys I think who can beat him, Alcaraz and Sinner. Depends, but when he gets focused at the end of the Australian, it'll take a hell of an effort to beat him, even at 37 and injured as he seems to be once again. And other than that, I think Chelsea had a big win against Middlesbrough in some cup match, some Carabao Cup or something like that. Just the thing I was thinking, I was watching a bit of American football as it's coming to that time of year. As I say, it is an intriguing sport. But just looking at the life and times of Tom Brady, and Tom is, I think his dad or his dad's dad or whatever was probably Irish, but would be known as the greatest quarterback of all time, the greatest player of all time, with 7 Super Bowls and the most incredible performances throughout his career. And yet, when he began, and he was quite good in college, and had a very good rating and won something called the Orange Bowl. Even with that, I think it's a thing called the draft, which I don't get in America. The draft, whatever that is, where the different teams pick, the number 1, the number 2, draft whatever. And with Brady's record in college, you would expect him to be quite high, to be quite popular there, but he actually ended up being the 199th pick. And they were just going over it. I think there were 6 quarterbacks picked before him, and of those 6, I don't think any of them even had no careers whatsoever. And again, you have this American kind of how much they love stats, and it's all about stats, and the teams didn't draft them or excuse themselves because of the stats, but I think you can sense greatness. You look in a guy's eyes, and you can see with Brady, he was a good player, but also tremendous confidence in himself and knew he was going to be good. And for all of the other teams now, it's because of him. New England won 6. I guess he won one with Buccaneers, I think, after he left. They won 6 Super Bowls, which they wouldn't have won without him. They hadn't won much before he came. And all the other teams could think they had a chance of getting him at an earlier time of the draft. And every single scout or whatever you call him, completely effed up on that one. I know it's easy being clever after the event, but I wouldn't be picking guys for any sport on stats, speed of serve in tennis, or speed of anything, height or anything. You're looking for something else, looking for something special, and he definitely had it. And it's going at the end now looking like, say, Kansas have a big game against the Ravens next Sunday, and I'm thinking, I've thought of my great quarterbacks that I've seen down the years. Montana was, of course, the first one. Then you've had Brady, and Mahomes is getting there. I think the problem for Mahomes is Kansas. He could possibly be with a stronger team, and again, it's another little annoyance of mine that in America they call them franchises. or organisations. I mean, Christ Almighty, they're a team, a sports team. That's all they are. And there you are. It's enough ranting on that. So, other than to, of course, announce that my horse from yesterday lost. Of course it did. Finished fourth, and miles from Wicklow or something like that. But you've been warned. And actually, yeah, that's the killing thing about that with the horses is like the horse that won that race was something like 14-1, and his form showed that he'd been pulled up in the previous two races. So you're looking at that and you're thinking, well, that horse can't win. So I don't know. I think honestly the ladies have a better chance. Or someone who picks a number or a nice name or something. Well, you're better off looking at the form anyway. Be that as it may, Gavin Cromwell has a horse called Evie's Vladimir running in the 1 o'clock at Ferryhouse tomorrow. Evie's Vladimir, another wonderful name. So I reckon that's one less horse to worry about. And I say thank you for listening. Wishing you a good night, and we'll talk tomorrow.